Welcome to Inside the Force. I'm Greg Grunberg, a.k.a. Snap Wexley.
It is a period of Star Wars mania, as new movies, comic books, novels, and TV shows populate the system. Fueled by their love and passion for the galaxy far, far away, two exceptional geeks tap into hundreds of holocrons in order to bring you the knowledge and insight of all things Star Wars. Come and join them as they go inside the Force.
Welcome back, everyone, to Inside the Force. Dave Cottingham here, as always, with Casey Cooley.
Hello, everybody.
And welcome back to a brand new episode where we are very excited to talk about some exciting news that did not see coming.
Yes.
So a lot to talk about with that, just a lot of theorizing, and then just a lot to get through as far as what's coming at you in the world of Star Wars, books, comics, mainly those things there. And then, of course, we'll hit you up with the latest news. So hope everybody's doing well, and we are getting right into it.
Oh, gosh. I'm already. So, biggest news is Episode VIII stuff, which we'll get into in a little bit. You guys should already know by now, but we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
So, nothing on 9, of course. Rogue One is broke $1 billion.
Broke $1 billion.
Yes. Just last week we were talking about, I think it'll probably may take another week before it hits $1 billion.
It just did this weekend,
yeah,
right?
like literally 2 days after we finished recording that episode, it broke $1 billion. So congratulations, everybody. Everybody did a good job. Go see the movie.
Which is still half of what episode 7 did.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Unbelievable.
So excited. So that's fantastic news, of course.
Yes.
And then they'll keep making these one-offs, of course, absolutely, since that's what Kathleen Kennedy was always saying, like, depending on the success of Rogue One, we'll make more of these solo films, and of course they made $1 billion, and so now of course they're gonna make more. Which brings me to Han Solo. Now,
well, real quick, Rogue One also nominated for 2
oh, that's right,
Academy Awards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Best sound mixing and best visual effects.
Yeah, fantastic. The sounds, of course, are great.
Visual effects, that's got a very good chance of winning visual effects.
I think so.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I thought Force Awakens should have done it too. It was very, like some of those creatures.
They had to get nominated, didn't they?
I can't remember, but it might be. Yeah. But anyways, that's awesome.
Very awesome.
So, the Han Solo film, one thing is Woody Harrelson has been asked some questions about his role, and he was asked directly if he's playing Garrus Strike from the Han Solo movies. Have you?
I've not heard this.
Now, it's interesting. I almost sent you the link to the video to see what you thought, but in the video, he's surrounded by he's promoting a movie he's in currently, so he's surrounded by his cast members. And this girl asks the question: you play Garrus Strike, the mentor or father figure of Han Solo, and everybody, his cast members are kind of dogging on him, being like, "Don't say anything, don't say anything. You're gonna, whatever Disney's gonna get on you." And he's laughing about it. Then Woody Harrelson's like, he just says yes to it, but everybody immediately thought and thinks that means he confirmed that he's playing Garrus Strike. Now, I don't know if. I guess Pablo kind of said this too, because someone asked him, like, did Woody Harrelson just confirm this? And Pablo was like, well, think again what question he was answering, because what they're saying essentially is that he was answering yes to the fact that he's playing the mentor of Han Solo, that he doesn't really know.
Not the name.
Yeah, like maybe he doesn't even know or care about. He just wasn't even paying attention. I don't know. Woody Harrelson's, I'm sure he's a Star Wars fan, but I don't know. But so he could have been saying yes to Garrus Strike, or could have just been saying yes to the general question. He wasn't. It seemed like he was kind of half paying attention. He didn't quite hear the full question. So if you're just Google it, Woody Harrelson confirming Star Wars role kind of thing, and you should see it's a quick, like less than a minute interview clip, and see what you think. But it seems like he basically is. I mean, he's probably not going to be called that.
They may change his name, but he's that guy.
That
I definitely think that he's that guy.
So I'm just excited. I'm excited to see him in it.
Yeah, it's funny, and that I think it's really funny now these days that these actors are, while they're promoting another film, get asked.
Oh yeah, I mean,
and it seems like, to me anyway, because I don't see all of these, but it seems like it's either a Star Wars thing or like a comic book movie thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Ben Affleck.
Oh, poor Ben Affleck
got drilled about Batman while he's promoting his own movie.
Yeah, a movie he's been working on for like a couple, 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah, he's just the poor guy.
All he's getting is bombarded with Batman questions. It's like, and then of course, I'm sure when there's that movie, I guess Daisy Ridley's in.
Yeah.
She's going to get bombarded with episode 8 questions, or 9 if this movie's after episode 8. But I think it's coming out probably this year. I mean, these poor actors, it's like, they can't. It just goes to show you what majority of people are interested in.
It's what people want to know. It's the scoop. You got to get the scoop.
Yeah. I'm sorry that they don't want to watch Live by Night, or they want to,
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know what. Do you even know what the name of the movie Woody Harrelson's in that he's?
I think it's Wilson. I think is the name of it.
Oh, okay.
It's like an indie film, but I think it was at Sundance. It was just like small little junket thing. But no, the average person, no, probably. I mean, the common viewer probably would not. But but actually, it brings me to what you mentioned, Daisy Ridley on her new film. It's hilarious. Josh Gad, if you know who he is, you know him as voice of Olaf from Frozen. Yes. But he's done tons of other comedies, live action comedies. He's in a movie with Daisy Ridley, which I don't actually know if it's animated or not. I feel like it might be animated. I don't know. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know that film.
Well,
I guess there were trailers.
She had makeup.
Yeah, so that's
I think she's in it. Yeah.
So Josh Gad, I guess he posted on Instagram. It's a video of him like in his trailer, and Daisy Ridley comes in. She's like in makeup, like getting ready for a shoot. And she's like, "Yeah, what do you want?" Like Josh, he says, "Yeah, Daisy, I just got to ask you a question about our scene today. Who's the Last Jedi?" And he just goes on this huge thing. It's hilarious. You guys need to look it up if you haven't seen it. And Daisy was just smiling, laughing about it, which, I mean, I'm sure she knew this was all planned. But it's still, she played it well. It was hilarious. He just kept bombarding her, I answer the dang question. What is I'm sorry, I raised my voice, but who is the Last Jedi? Is it plural? Is it singular? Who is it? So, but we'll talk about that, the title, actually, in a minute. So, also, though, with the Han Solo film I read yesterday, is that it's kind of confirming that it's going to get started. The principal photography shooting in March.
Yes.
Now, that was the first thing I heard about it, like last year when they kind of first announced it. When Lawrence Kasdan said that they're probably going to start shooting in March. But then, I feel like 4 or 5 months ago, maybe less than that, I heard that they were going to be shooting in February. That was, but
I think March is
the day they're going to start.
Now, have they moved their release date yet? Or they?
That's not officially.
That's not
confirmed.
So as of right now, it's still May?
I think so. Okay. But that's what they're saying too. Maybe this getting starting in March kind of lends itself people to believe that it will come out in December, just because that's a year and two months. If it starts shooting, if it shoots in March and it's supposed to be released in May, it's a year and 2 months of getting through all of production and all of editing. So it probably will be pushed to December.
Yeah,
which that's fine. December is a good month. It's working.
It's definitely working.
They've made billions of dollars because of that month.
$3 billion so far, actually.
$3 billion
in 2 years.
Yeah, jeez, more than $1 billion a year. Good job.
So they will this year probably. By far, easily, Episode 8, they will make back the money they spent to buy the property.
Probably.
Because they paid $4.4 billion.
Yeah.
They will easily make $1 billion on Episode 8. So, three-year return on your investment, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Although they probably already in merchandise have done that. So.
Oh, yeah.
So,
very cool stuff.
Crazy.
So, a lot of big things happening. Lots of huge things, and we should have. If Han Solo's being shot in March, definitely we should have. I think something in April for Celebration. Something.
I think what we're gonna see I think we're obviously going to get more episode 8.
Yes, that'll be the focus.
But I think the big thing will be a official title, like a logo or something like that. Because we don't know if it's called Han Solo or if it's called something else, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But do you think they'll stick with this whole a Star Wars story thing?
Han Solo, a Star Wars story.
See, I don't think. Do you think it's going to be called Han Solo? I don't think it's going to be called Han Solo.
Maybe not.
I think it's going to be called something else.
Yeah, it could be.
That's a little too,
simple,
directional.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of almost like a cop out title because you get these sequel movies like just because at the top of my head, like the Rocky movie or the Rambo movie, like it was their name.
Yeah.
Or the new Jason Bourne movie, it was his name.
Yeah.
It's like when you run out of ideas, you just throw the character's name in there.
Just call it that. Yeah.
Well, these biography movies, it's just their name.
Like, you imagine if that was called Jyn Erso.
Yeah.
A Star Wars story. I was like, but I think, so I think it's going to be something else. I don't know what it is.
A solo Star Wars solo film.
Yeah.
But we'll get something, images, title, maybe
We'll definitely get a look at what they look like.
I think you got to. They got a month of shooting. You have to have something.
Yes. Yeah. But it's going to be
exciting.
Trailer for episode 8, I think, for sure.
Yes.
Teaser or whatever.
Yes.
Or they could, it's possible they could release a teaser like next month.
Okay, like a celebration
and then
reel.
more a celebration reel,
sizzle.
a little sizzle like they've usually been doing at but see, Anaheim, they released the trailer, right? A trailer, the second trailer, right?
Yeah, the We're Home, Chewie, We're Home.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it might be a trailer. It might be a trailer at episode 8. That's gonna be so fun.
Okay, so that's pretty much all the movie
Yeah.
side of things that we will talk about right now.
And of course, TV Rebels is on hiatus now, so that doesn't return back until was it March? Shoot,
Is it? Man, maybe you may be right. I'll look it up.
I think it's March. But we'll move on to the big news that is released. Was it this week? Wasn't it? Was it Tuesday or something like that that it dropped on us? This title?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I just had no idea this was coming.
No whispers, nothing.
Nothing. So obviously you've already heard, but episode 8 is now titled Star Wars The Last Jedi.
Woo! Crazy.
Which right away brings up a couple of flags that
Yes.
we were waving, right? Mm-hmm. One, it's not a 4-word title.
Yes, that was like the second thing I realized.
That goes in. What do you mean? What was the first?
First was like Last Jedi, Luke Skywalker, and then it was
right.
oh wait, it's three words.
My 2 things that I caught were that was actually the first thing for me was
Yeah,
because I was expecting a 4-word title
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah,
But then the red text caught me.
Yeah, that too.
That threw me off a little bit.
Yeah. Yep.
They have Star Wars outlined in red, same style as The Force Awakens, with the lettering in between Star Wars. But yeah, it's the first time they've breaking away kind of from the four word title in the middle trilogy. Attack of the Clones, The Empire Strikes Back, and now we've got The Last Jedi. So several things after that, of course, popped in mind for me. Obviously, for me, I immediately went to, okay, this story is going to be about Luke Skywalker,
Yes.
who, a little disappointing for me that we didn't get any of him in episode 7.
Mm-hmm.
Not even a word. We got a really, really long stare.
Long look. Yes.
Excuse me. But I think after talking to you about it, a couple other things came, because, I'll just go ahead and say that after thinking about Luke, that's being about Luke, I then started thinking, okay, Luke's gonna probably die, and now this probably maybe refers to Rey. Mm-hmm. But you brought up to me an interesting thing that it simply could be also a meaning that a plural word, right?
Yeah,
a plural word. Jedi.
You don't say Jedis.
So the Last Jedi could right now refer to both Rey and Luke, which is very interesting because if the rumors are correct, which I think it is, because we've seen footage actually a little bit, I guess, that they literally are, Episode VIII literally starts very shortly after Episode VII.
Mm-hmm. So
there really isn't time to, in a sense, technically train Rey to be a Jedi yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like she's been training for months, unless they fast forward or they skip some time.
Yeah,
but that's out of that would be out of tradition as well from a Star Wars
breaking
film.
all the rules.
Yeah,
One of the first when I had to sit and think about it, I was one of the first things I was thinking was, this is about Luke Skywalker. I mean, he's always been known as the Last Jedi.
Yes.
From Yoda and the Crawl of Force Awakens, Snoke refers to him as that. Even so,
but he wasn't the Last Jedi for a little bit of
for about 30 years, maybe. Yeah.
However long, we don't know when
we don't know
Kylo went crazy.
Full details about that yet. But yeah, so it's.
Wait a minute. Back up. So you said Bloodline was 5 or 6 years?
It's about 6 years before Force Awakens. And
is he Kylo Ren in that?
No, he's Ben. So it's right after that. It's got to be right after.
Also, he hasn't turned evil then yet. Really?
Excuse me. No, he's where I am, which I need to just read through this book because
I need to do Bloodline next probably.
There's a lot of information in this book apparently because I had looked this up on Wikipedia because I'm not to that point yet. They have mentioned Ben Solo so far where I am, but he's off training with Luke. We haven't seen him. He's just been Leia's just talking to herself and thinking, or it's the narration saying Ben is off with Luke training. So he's about, if that's true, if it's 6 or so years before, if they establish that later in the novel, then he's about 23, 24. So he's pretty sure it says it somewhere in the visual dictionary or somewhere that he's about 30.
Yeah.
In Force Awakens, 29, 30. And Rey is, what do we say? 17? She's 17.
You think? Yeah, I think you said she's 17.
Born 11 years after Endor.
Then she's 19.
Well, if it's 6 years... Wait, sorry.
By Force Awakens, she's 19.
Correct. Yes, 19, sorry.
At this point,
19.
you're talking about it's like she's 13.
Yeah, probably.
Or so.
14, 15, yeah.
Which means she's been on Jakku, obviously.
Yeah.
But with... Wow, so that means... he hasn't been Kylo Ren all that long.
Mm-mm.
Once Force Awakens happens, you know what I mean? So
he hasn't been the master of the night.
So that just means that, because it kind of made you think, though, when you're watching The Force Awakens, when, Han's explaining what happened and Luke, it sounds like Luke's been gone for 20 plus years.
Yeah, I knew Luke. Yeah, it's he talks about, yeah.
I thought it was only a myth. It only takes 5 years for someone to be a myth.
They probably...
Oh, they didn't probably know him. They knew him. He must be out training or something.
Yeah, especially Rey, who's on Jakku the whole time. Probably doesn't really know anything. But yeah, you're right, though. The way Han was talking about him, yeah.
It's he's been...
It's pretty immediate, he left. What? How's he been gone this long?
So he's only... Technically, I guess, I guess maybe as you get in... I don't know how far are you in
I'm about 100 pages into Bloodline.
Which is what, about halfway or
no?
Not
it's
even a third?
Maybe a third.
Okay, so it could. It could. By the time you get to the end, people are probably reading this.
Yeah. You don't know?
I haven't read it yet.
Just look it up.
I'll do it next. I'm almost done with Heir to the Jedi, so I'll do that one next. But but it could explain in there at the end that it has happened at that point. I bet you
something. Yeah,
I bet you that it leads to that. So we'd say Luke has probably been gone for a good 6 years then, 5 or 6 years, which, I mean, it's a long, kind of long. It was a long time.
Yeah.
To be missing, right? I mean, but it did seem. Just the movie did seem like they've been searching for him for like 20 years.
Yeah, no.
So anyway, what's ultimately what do you think about the title?
So yeah, I love it. I think it's a great title. It's very speculative as we've been talking about. And so I was thinking, it's about Luke. And then immediately I thought, okay, well, Luke's probably going to die, which I don't want him to at all. But in this movie, at least, I was kind of hoping they would keep him around a little longer before they kill him off. He's going to die, and then, pass the torch to Rey. And at the end of the movie, Rey will be the last Jedi. And, that kind of thing. Them thinking all different scenarios, and, Luke could survive, and he is still the last Jedi, because I thought, back to what we talked about before in the show, where how Kathleen Kennedy got J.J. Abrams on board was asking the question, who is Luke Skywalker? So kind of I keep thinking like this trilogy is about Luke Skywalker and his legacy in a way. So he was pretty much the focus of Force Awakens. I think he will be he's still the focus until he dies, because that's what Snoke wants. Snoke wants to kill him. That's kind of the mission, I guess, of the Knights of Ren, to wipe out the Jedi and get Luke Skywalker. So he'll be the focus yet again, I think, of The Last Jedi. And then perhaps he dies at the end of this one, and Rey's now the focus. She is the Last Jedi, and she carries Episode 9 by herself, pretty much. Her and Kylo. So that's a fantastic title. It's great. I love it.
It does feel like the title of the third movie.
Yeah.
To me a little bit.
Yeah.
Like the end of the trilogy kind of thing.
They're probably not going to pull any punches. Like, that's going to be, just what way we've been hearing all the actors describe it. Like, this is a very not gritty, but just a very different Star Wars movie. Mm-hmm. Emotional, very great storytelling, very compelling and gripping. Like, it's apparently going to just grab a hold of you and almost suffocate you with just its storytelling and its drama and action and everything.
And there was that quote from JJ, that said,
"Oh yeah,
man, I wish I was directing this kind of thing," because he read the script. So hopefully Rian Johnson's going to knock it out.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it. I definitely think there's a lot of, The Force Awakens. When we got that, there was so much meaning to that, and just the fact of Star Wars coming back. It kind of referred to everything. The Force Awakens again. Yeah. It's like the Star Wars coming back to the world, after a big hiatus, after the last movie was 2005. Mm-hmm. We had Clone Wars, but not everybody was watching Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So this was, that kind of meant so much different, I think, than just the movie. This is literally, you can't really do anything but speculate what that means for the movie. And obviously it does have to do with Luke, so a lot of it's, it took really, truly till we saw Rogue One to actually see the massive ability of Darth Vader.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see the true skills and ability of Luke Skywalker.
You have to,
because if you think about it, we haven't seen it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, there's a thing to be said about fan service, and they've kind of said the Vader scene was kind of fan service, but you need to you have to have that scene.
Yes.
Like, it's in his scene on Mustafar. Some people thought, like, I've heard people think that scene is not entirely useful to needed and everything. So I think it is from a story standpoint where it pushes Krennic to go to Scarif. It's also just very cool, and I think it's a fantastic introduction to Vader. Mm-hmm. I think that is a scarier introduction to Vader than A New Hope. Although, of course, I didn't see A New Hope for the first time in the 70s. I saw it for the first time in the mid 90s. So, even that's a different mindset that I'm sure than everybody who saw it in 77. But I think, for me, the Mustafar introduction to Vader chronologically is a better introduction to Vader than New Hope. So if kids are watching this now in chronological order, they will see Vader at the end of Revenge of the Sith, but then from that point, Revenge of the Sith, all the way to Rogue One, seeing, if they don't watch Rebels, that's a crazy jump for people like, oh my gosh, this Anakin, like, what's happened to him? He is a bad, bad guy. And
yes.
it's scary. And that's so because of that, yeah, I think we have to have that scene. We have to. I don't care if it's we call it fan service or not. We need to see Luke at his peak power.
Yes. And it truly isn't his peak, probably.
Probably not, no.
You know, that would probably be in that time, just like Vader. Mm-hmm. You know, from 6 to 7, there's still that time, that 30 years, that whatever Luke was before, you know, training more Jedi. But yeah, but he still has to be pretty skilled. You know, I mean, he's very much the Obi-Wan now of this trilogy, but. Yeah, we just got to see some major action with him.
I mean, we've heard one scene rumored to be where on Octo Island he like fights the Knights of Ren minus Kylo, and he like wipes them all out pretty much. Like I have to see that.
Oh my gosh,
we need to see the Last Jedi in action.
I mean, yeah, that would be
using not just lightsabers, but also just using the Force. You know, just being awesome.
Just all that power. Yeah, yeah. So I'm intrigued definitely by it. Yeah, you know, there's until we again, you know, but again, The Force Awakens, you had no idea what the story is going to be. We had no idea what this story, you know, is going to be. I mean, this is very much like Return or like Empire Strikes Back, because you know, people just were clueless on, you know, obviously Episode 2, you kind of knew it was going to the Clone Wars, right? I mean, you knew who wasn't going to die, who was going to survive. You know, so it's like, so this again is completely just no speculation at all yet on what this could be about. So I think, you know, I think it was a good title. I mean, we got to do this for episode 9. We actually got to throw what we think is going to be the title. We never really got a chance to do that.
True.
I didn't think it would come out this soon, to be honest. So
caught me way off guard.
So, but this would not have been on my list. I mean, nothing like this would have been on my list. I
probably would have guessed something about the Resistance. I don't know, or the First Order, like almost like the vein of The Empire Strikes Back.
Wasn't there like a kind of a leak of like some poster or something like that someone saw that said something? I think it was Resistance. It's something about. Yeah,
there was some. It's debunked, but there was something like that a while back. I remember because.
Now that's a question: is when did they actually come up with this title? Have they always had this title?
I've read that Rian Johnson has had this title in his mind for a while.
Yeah, but was it? I mean, did the cast know? You think when they were shooting?
I don't think so.
Did Daisy knew before it was released?
I think Mark Hamill knew. I think it was confusing. He was saying something about Rian Johnson told him while they were shooting, or was going to tell him. I think, and Mark Hamill was like, "No, I don't want to know anything. They don't tell me like, no, it's because I guess maybe he doesn't want to have the information when being interviewed or something." But he might have known. But I think he tried to keep it. I would have kept it a secret. He probably did.
Yeah,
because Daisy Ridley, she put out a meme on her Facebook or Instagram of her reaction to it, and it was what would be her reaction. It was pretty funny. So I don't think she knew.
Yeah, I don't think any of the actors really knew, because I think if you had it on the set, someone would have found out.
It's just whispering to everybody. By the way, this is going to be called The Last Jedi.
Yeah, because I think it came down to just recently that, and then, you know how Star Wars show kind of released that breaking news. It's like, well, they had to have filmed that maybe a day or two before, you know.
Yeah.
So I do think he did a good job of keeping it hidden for a while. And because and if I remember correctly, they did release the title of Episode 7 before the trailer, correct? Or did we see it in the trailer first?
I think we knew it first.
We knew it first?
I think so.
Okay. Well, yeah. I think wasn't Cody saying it came out on his birthday?
Yeah.
And then
yeah, he was saying it was 22 days later there was a trailer.
And then the trailer came out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. So that's why he was like, well, maybe in 22 days there might be a teaser or something like that. That's why it could be.
People think it's Super Bowl, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think the Super Bowl. I don't.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But
I don't.
didn't know we were gonna get the title this week.
Maybe Valentine's Day. That's why it's red.
Yes. Good investigative work.
Yeah. That's the next big holiday. So I put a our Twitter poll this past week because of the release. Actually, that came on Monday because that's when I put the poll out. Because as soon as that came out, I was like, oh, well, this makes it easy. So I put out there, do you like the revealed title of Episode VIII, Star Wars The Last Jedi? Of course, it's what I felt. Majority of 78% said yes. Surprising, though, that's 22% said no.
Yeah.
They don't like the title. So, but that's a pretty good big majority of you out there that do like it. So, but again, I'm a little thrown off by the red lettering. I mean, that's just different looking, and
I mean, it's gotta be thematic. They wouldn't just
do
it.
Totally.
So it's very ominous. And it's interesting too. Some people have pointed out that there's a Legends book with the same title. Have you seen those covers? There's a Legends book out there called The Last Jedi.
That's right. That's right. And I think Random Del Rey, Random House. Yeah. I saw it on their Facebook that they said there's a Legends title with The Last Jedi, but I mean they're obviously saying it has nothing to do with this.
It's already out. Oh,
do you know when that takes place?
That book?
Yeah,
I think it's beyond. I think it's after. I feel like it's like a really late one. I'll look it up.
Like New Order kind of thing, Jedi Order.
I think it's after that though.
Oh, really?
I'll have to look it up, but it's part of I think it's part of a series.
I mean, it's not. I wonder if it's referring to Luke still as the Last Jedi.
See, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know. They can get too much into Legends as.
Let me see. There's just so many. I'm still finding covers of Legends books. I'm like, gosh, I never knew that came out. Yeah. It's like how?
No, there were a lot of books out. I mean, a lot of books in the Legends universe. Because you're right. Because I see them. I still see them at the bookstore and stuff.
See, I was totally wrong. It's in between 3 and 4. It's about the Last Jedi after Order 66. Or the supposed Last Jedi. Order 66.
So another Jedi that survived or something like that.
Yeah. So.
No, Vader probably tracks him down.
Yeah, I think Vader's in this.
Wipes him out. Interesting. Well, it's not that, guys.
Not that at all.
It's not that. Okay, so
that's it.
That's the title.
Yeah, so exciting.
Some real quick other news as far as in the comic book world. So forgive us. It's just I keep forgetting to really. It's so sporadic that I'm reading these books now, but I'm not on it week to week. I will start doing better at that. But a brand new book coming out this coming Wednesday, February 1st, is the new Darth Maul series. Darth Maul #1 will be out, as well as Star Wars #28. So those are still flying high. Solicits came out this week as well for April. So the current books that are kind of in circulation right now are Star Wars still. Darth Maul starts up next week. You've got Dr. Aphra still running, and you have Poe Dameron. I think April was the solicits for Poe Dameron #13, Aphra number 6. So keep coming up with those. Keep looking out for those books. I will get us to catch up on those here soon. Make sure I'm still trying to finish up Darth Vader, actually. Now, novel-wise, interesting enough, there are 2 new junior novels or young adult novels coming out.
Yes, I'm so excited for these.
One extending on the backstory of Jyn Erso a little bit, called Rebel Rising. And then you've got the Guardians of the Whills book coming out with, of course, centered on Baze and Chirrut.
Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah.
I knew this was inevitable that we're going to get this book.
So young adult, so that's on the line of like Lost Stars,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm.
Those are young adult novels.
And Guardians of the Wheels is written by Greg Rucka.
Oh, dang! I didn't know that. He's great.
Yeah, he did Shattered Empire.
He did.
He did some of the Journey to the Force.
Yes, he did.
Awakens books.
I think he did Before the Awakening.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm very
Plus,
excited.
He's a big comic book writer.
Absolutely, yeah.
Then who wrote
Rebel
Rising?
I just had it right here. Beth Revis.
Hmm.
She's done some other sci-fi books. Might be her first Star Wars book though. Yeah, I mean it's that. I mean that one's about Jyn.
Are they in April? I think they're coming out in April or May.
May 2nd. Okay. Both of them. Yeah. So the Rebel Rising one is about Jyn's time with Saw Gerrera.
Nice.
Growing up with Saw. And the Guardians of the Wheels is basically mainly about Baze and Chirrut on Jeddah right after the Empire takes after the Empire takes over, and them trying to resist the Empire, and also meeting Saw Gerrera and his plan, working with him on his plans to kind of resist the Empire. So obviously Jyn has left, I would assume.
At that point.
Left at that point she had never probably been to Jeddah. I don't know, so we'll see.
Awesome.
So both books I'm excited.
Both books, and then of course in April still you've got Thrawn.
Yes.
By Timothy Zahn coming still.
Yeah, finish Thrawn by the time these two books come out.
Well, that Thrawn is coming out right the week of Celebration, right?
So
that
we'll
Tuesday.
have time to read it. Maybe there's so much to do in our
hey,
downtime.
We're gonna have a long drive, so I might have to listen to some of that.
We're gonna be playing some Destiny. We're gonna be reading books. It's gonna be
watching movies,
constant Star Wars.
Yeah, constant,
24/7.
It's gonna be interesting rolling dice on a moving vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's all the book news, correct? Yeah, I think that's it. So, let's see. I think that might be
That might be about it.
your Star Wars news for the week. The one thing there was, there was one other thing. No, Rebel Rising, yeah, and I hate to say it, but just obviously a reminder we were just talking about Celebration. 4-day passes have been sold out. If we haven't, I think we've talked about that, but if not, so you only can get single day passes to Orlando in April, but might want to think about booking some stuff.
Yes,
and we got to preach it to ourselves because we gotta get stuff booked. But we're planning on being down there for a Star Wars Celebration. I think didn't we say, I think if those of you don't know, Rogue One is going to be released on DVD and Blu-ray, I think the end of April. So it'd be after Celebration, unfortunately. But I'm wondering if they'll show it there still. You know how they do all the movies?
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll
I think so.
show Rogue One.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
and Rebels returns February 18th.
Oh, that's okay.
So
February 18th.
It's a month.
Almost. Yeah,
basically.
almost March. All right, and it'll expand more on the Mandalorian storyline that they kind of left off there with Darksaber this past episode. All right, so a lot of stuff happening on the Star Wars universe. Of course, we're here to give it to you and we'll keep you up to date. We'll be back next week to talk about all kinds of other stuff that comes up. Since we are a little bit on hiatus, we'll definitely have some book reviews. I'm nearly finished with Heir to the Jedi.
I will finish Aftermath. By next show.
Yes.
Going to do it.
Yes. Because there may not be too much more to talk about, so we have to.
Yeah. Try to at least, maybe I'll try to at least do a book a month at least. Book review a month for me.
Yes.
Hopefully.
I will move on. I was actually going to move on to Aftermath, I think. Oh, because
Empire's End came out. That came out this week. It came out this week, didn't it?
Or does it come out Tuesday?
Empire. Let's look that up real quick on the internet.
Yeah, because I was going to do Aftermath, but I'm really interested in Bloodline now that you're talking about that. So I might actually jump to Bloodline first. Although it's out of the...
February 21st. So we got a while.
It still has a
We got a while. Just kidding, everybody.
Yeah.
I think I read it earlier. It's January 21st.
So I might do Bloodline first.
Yeah.
And then get into the Aftermath trilogy.
Yeah, I'm going to finish Aftermath, then finish Bloodline, then read Life Debt. Aftermath, Life Debt would be my one.
Which is a Han Solo story, right? It's
basically,
Han and Chewie are
Han's
that
gonna be
one.
in it. Maz is apparently in it a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
Is she going to be in Empire's End? I can't remember, but she's in one of those books.
Yeah.
So cool.
Man, I'm almost through a lot of these, I think.
We've done a lot. I need to do Tarkin, though.
Tarkin's great.
I need to finish New Dawn. I started that a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I have to reread it. But yeah, we did Ahsoka, Catalyst.
But you've got, like
Lost
me,
Stars.
you've done Battlefront.
The Battlefront one. Yeah.
See, I still have to do Battlefront, Dark Disciple.
Yes. Yep.
And Lords of the Sith.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the Aftermath books and Bloodline. So I've got several to catch up on still, but I'm banging through them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm surprised I've gone through as many as I have.
Yeah.
What I do, I did Tarkin, Catalyst, A New Dawn, and I'm doing Heir to the Jedi. I think those are all the ones I've done so far. Oh, and Ahsoka, sorry.
Yeah.
So Ahsoka was my first one, then Tarkin, then Catalyst, then A New Dawn, then Catalyst, then Heir to the Jedi. Yeah. I do want to do actually the movie books. Like I want to do Rogue One.
Yeah, then it's canon.
And then Force Awakens because I want to see what more is left in there.
Because I mean, like Pablo Hidalgo references scenes in the book version, the novelization of Rogue One, as if they're canon.
They're canon.
Yeah, because it's always like, oh, if it doesn't show in the movie, then it's not.
It's canon. Canon. I think that was the prior books before the story group. I think that they kind of justify if it's not in the movie, it's not canon. But
yeah,
which I still hope they come out with official novels of the movies again. You know, not just rely on the ones that have been out because there's not really a good, hardbound covered book of episode 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah,
they're either grouped in
I got a group
one. Yeah, I've got 1, 2, and 3, but I want 4, 5, and 6 as like the Force Awakens book, and I wish they would do that. I don't know if they're going to do that. I mean, they did those young adult ones versions, which you started that one of those too.
Audiobook of the new episode 4 one, and it's different. Yeah, so it's interesting.
Yeah. Okay, everybody, that will do it. Except we'll do a little bit of canon stuff here.
Yes. So for me, from the DK book, the everything Ultimate Star Wars. Today we're going to talk about some vehicles. Today is the Armored Assault Tank, the AAT, that you saw in the prequels from Episodes 1, The Clone Wars, and Episode 3. Surprisingly enough, doesn't say here as in Episode 2, which is very surprising. I figured it would be in Episode 2. But it is not, apparently. Manufacturer, the Bactoid Armor Workshop. We see Bactoid referenced here a lot. Model Armored Assault Tank, and type is Repulsor Lift Battle Tank. So these are actually, I like these designs because playing the Battlefront games, the first two, mainly the second one, is you get to control them and use them. They're incredible, they're really fun. So it's a floating tank. It's the front line of the Trade Federation infantry divisions. That's basically mainly what they use them for because they were mainly in control of the battle droids at the time. They have turrets on them. They got a crazy long range, awesome blaster cannon. They have 6 energized projectile launchers on there. This thing is fully armored up, as it is said in the title of the ship. It's incredible. So it's got high explosive bunker busting shells. I mean, it's a real. Again, I think it's a cool design of a lot of the hatred towards the prequels. I think it was still on point with all their set designs, visual designs, costumes, and all that stuff, just like Star Wars always is. So, the AAT, the Armored Assault Tank. pilot and 2 gunners. So yeah, it's a pretty cool little ship.
I'm trying to find something here. Oh, okay. Since you're talking vehicles, I'll do a little. So in Everything You Need to Know About Star Wars, there's a page in here called, they title it Full Throttle. It says, have a need for speed. The galaxy is buzzing with high-powered spacecraft, from the mighty but slow-moving Imperial Star Destroyer to the zippy and agile A-Wing. There's a starship that suits every mission. These are, I'm assuming, this is how fast these ships can go and how fast they're flying, right? So like the Falcon, it seems like the max speed is 652 miles per hour. So this is just regular, obviously. It's just flying. Yeah. It's not hyperspace. But an Interceptor is 772 miles an hour. The Ghost, 636. Oof. A Y-Wing, 621. TIE Fighter, 746. This is interesting. Resistance X-Wing, speed classified.
Ooh.
Special Forces TIE Fighter, speed classified. Looks like a regular X-Wing. I guess the old school X-Wing, 777. Imperial Shuttle, 528. The Tantive V4, 590. A Delta 7 Jedi Interceptor, 715. A Vulture Droid, 746. A-Wings, 808.
Oof.
So you're flying in those. Kylo Ren Shuttle, speed classified. And Imperial Star Destroyer, 606.
Wow.
So that's pretty fast.
I mean, so the Falcon's not as fast, but it makes 0.1 past light speed, right? So
yes,
what it is?
I guess.
Oh, whatever.
But that's why Star Destroyer is like right. It keeps up with the Falcon because it's. Yeah. I thought you said this thing was fast.
Listen, sweetheart.
You find yourself floating home.
Oh, Han.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. We are Inside the Force, InsideTheForce.com. Go check us out there. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, or TuneIn Radio. Or you can listen right there on the website, all of our episodes. He's Kryptonian1138 on Twitter. I am D Cottingham21. Of course, Inside the Force at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Those are all our social channels. Follow us and like us there. Of course, check in on our Twitter account every Monday for the ITF Poll of the Week. We will talk about that on each show. And then, of course, look for more video coming your way and stuff like that as we kind of revamp what we're doing here on the show. And that's really it. Okay? I'm sorry. That's really it. So thank you guys. Hope everybody has a great weekend. He is Casey Cooley.
The droid will soon be delivered to the Resistance, leading them to the last Jedi. If Skywalker returns, the new Jedi will rise.
That's actually interesting.
Little Snoke for you. Snoke pokes back. That's the title.
And again, that's again we mentioned we didn't mention it before, but this is the first time the title was actually previously mentioned in the crawl of the movie before.
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
Force Awakens crawl. It says The Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
So
The Last Jedi.
So if you look at the crawl in episode 8, it might figure out the title for episode 9.
Yeah. Which Ryan Johnson tweeted or Instagrammed
the crawl
picture of the crawl, said episode 8, The Last Jedi.
That's awesome.
I love social media.
Yeah. You imagine being the editor of that thing? Yeah. I mean, freaking.
Too nervous to type. I'll be typing all kinds of.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. He's Casey.
Goodbye, everybody.
I'm Dave Cottingham. May the Force be with you.
This has been a production of the 21 Network. For more great podcasts, visit 21network.com. To view additional content, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/21network. Follow us on Twitter at 21network for the latest news and updates. The 21 Network, for the fan and all of us.